20. All right, as I was just saying to first hour, 13 to 20 problems are those that are like what you've got to do on your test. So you've given a point number 13. We're given the point P is sitting at 0, -1. That's an x1, y1. I'm thinking I'm probably going to be using point slope form here. It has to be parallel to the line that's y equal -2x plus 3. So it has to go through this point, and if it's parallel to this line, its slope has to be -2. And I'll use point slope form. Y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. This was homework, so I'm not soliciting help right now. I just want to get answers on the table. I'm going to replace my x, y, and m into point slope form. So it's going to be y minus -1, which makes y plus 1. That's going to be equal to -2 times x minus 0. If I put this in slope-intercept form, y plus 1 equals -2x. -2 times 0 is going to leave me with 0, so I really don't need to put anything there, but if I had to, it'd be this. I'm going to actually erase that because I don't need it, but I'm going to solve this for y and just take that step to see what the y-intercept is. Y is going to be equal to -2x minus 1. So it's parallel to this line. It has the same slope, but the y-intercept on this one's -1. I'm going to move on to number 14. 14, we're given the point 3, 8. We're given the equation, so that's my x1, y1 I'll use. We're given the equation, y equals 1/5 times the quantity, x plus 4. I'm going to just distribute that through. 1/5 is the slope. That would be plus 4/5. The only thing I really care about in this equation is grabbing that slope because my line has to be parallel to it, same slope. So then this one's going to be y minus my 8 equals 1/5 of x minus 3. And you know what, I'm going to leave this one in this form right here. I'll go through and finish it, but if you want to leave it this way, that's fine. That's going to be 1/5 of x minus 3/5. If I add 8 to both sides, again, I would be okay with you leaving it right here. Y is equal to 1/5 of x. Let's see, 8 minus 3/5 is going to be 7 2/5. If you left it up here, that's fine. If you turned it into decimals, that's 0.2 and 7.4. 15, we're still on the parallel. Oh, we talked about 15, at least in first hour. We talked about 15 yesterday. We have a point that is, the point is -2 and 6. That's an x and a y. Now it has to be parallel to the equation x equals -5. X equals -5 is the equation of a vertical line. It's the vertical line that hits the x-axis at -5. Parallel to this is going to be another vertical line. All it's going to be is, parallel to it is going to be the line that goes through the x value of this point. The vertical line x equals -5 is parallel to the vertical line x equals -2, and I just grabbed that from my point. Now 16, and I glanced at the test, and there is something like 16 where when you have your point, in this case x1, y1 for 0, we're given the equation as -x plus 2y equals 12, and we need to know the slope. So to know the slope, we actually have to solve this equation for y, because we need to figure out what the number stuck to x is once it's in y equal. So I'm going to add x to both sides. That's going to leave me with 2y's equals, and I can't put together x and 12, so I'm just going to write it as x plus 12. They're not like terms. I'm almost to y equals. I need to divide everything by 2. Undoing the 2 times y. Y is equal to, I'm going to put a placeholder here, half of x plus 6. Now all that did was get me the slope I need to write the equation of the line that goes through 4, 0. All that was doing was getting me the slope that I need to write the equation of the line that goes through 4, 0. So now point slope form on this. Y minus the 0 equals half of x minus 4. So y is equal to half of x minus 4. And if I distribute, I'd get it to half of x minus 2. So in the case of this one, because my equation that had to be parallel to was not in slope-intercept form, I had to get it in slope-intercept form to figure out what the m was and use it in my new equation. Again, you will have a test question where you have to solve for y to get at your slope. I'm going to go on. I'll catch you in a minute here. We go to the next group of problems, 17 through 20. And in 17 through 20, we're same idea, except now our lines are perpendicular. So there's I still got this up here. Now my lines are perpendicular, so when I consider this point is 0, 0, x1, y1, the equation is y equals negative 9 x minus 1. This slope is negative 9. If it's got to be perpendicular to it, then I need the opposite reciprocal, which is going to be positive 1/9. So I have to write the equation with 0, 0, and a slope of 1/9. Y minus 0 equals 1/9 times x minus 0. And my minus zeros are actually just going to go bye-bye. Y is equal to 1/9 of x. 1/9 times 0 would just be 0. I can leave it there. Number 18. In 18, the point we're given is 4 and negative 6. That's my x1, y1 that I'm going to use, and it has to be perpendicular to y equals negative 3. Now, y equals negative 3 is a horizontal line. It's just straight up y equals, and we don't see a slope. That's a horizontal line. Perpendicular to a horizontal line is going to be a vertical line. All horizontal lines all have an equation that y equals a straight up number, just where it hits the y-axis. Vertical lines are an x equals. We're going to grab that x value from the ordered pair. The vertical line is just going to be x equals 4. Vertical line is going to be x4 there, horizontal and vertical. This was a y equals. Vertical to it's going to be an x equals, and I got the x value out of my pair. There's nothing to calculate. Number 19. I'm getting the point 2, 3, x1, y1. I'm getting the equation y minus 4 equals negative 2 times x plus 3. This is in point slope form. So the slope of this line is negative 2. I don't have to simplify it through. I recognize that it's in point slope form. So if the slope of this line is negative 2, the slope of the line perpendicular to it is going to be positive 1/2. So then I need to write point slope form using these. Y minus 3 equals 1/2 of x minus 2. And you know, honestly, because they started in point slope form, I'm just going to leave that one in point slope form too. We could solve it for y to go check on our calculator if these guys are perpendicular, but I'm going to assure you they are. Now number 20, last one. Oh, again, now pay close attention to this one, because again, we have to solve for y to get the slope. P is my x1, y1 I'm going to use. The equation that it has to be perpendicular to is 3x minus 5y equals 6. And again, if I'm not in y equals, or I'm not recognizing point slope form, I've got to solve for y to get the slope. I'm going to subtract 3 x's from both sides. Negative 5y is going to be negative 3x plus 6. And then to get y alone, I'm going to divide by negative 5. Every piece has to be divided by negative 5. So y is going to be equal to negative 3 over negative 5 is going to leave me with a positive 3/5 of x. And this is going to be minus 6/5. The only thing I really care about, though, is the slope. Once I know the slope of this line is 3/5, perpendicular to it is going to be a slope that's the opposite reciprocal. It'll be negative 5/3. So then my equation has to be written for this point in slope. Y minus 0 equals negative 5/3, x minus negative 8, or x plus 8. And actually, I'm real close to just being in y equals, because that minus 0 doesn't matter. I'm going to leave it just like this. The slope of the original line was 3/5. Perpendicular to it, I've got to see this opposite reciprocal. And again, you will have to solve for y on your test to figure out what slopes are, so you can write the equation.